We do like a survey, I never do surveys, but most of those like I'll do it.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex Lindsay.
Cool.
Nice to see you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I am presenting.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty certain I am.
I have you on here.
Yeah. It's not like a 50-50.
I mean, I'm like 99% sure that I'm supposed to present. I dig it. I'll take 99%.
Yeah.
This is what I have for you. If you want to come around to it, actually. You're in for 5. Modular, transportable, scalable.
Yepper. That's me.
You said yepperoni.
Yes.
I am here for it.
I
Okay.
do weird things.
I really like that.
Okay, cool.
That look great.
Yeah.
Great.
And I emailed a bunch of slides. I have my laptop with me, so.
Okay.
What's the best way to go about that?
Yeah,
It's up to you.
we have a Zoom
We
presenter
could,
today.
Oh.
I think probably, are you okay doing it from my laptop?
We stopped
doing
This is
it
my like back
because
laptop
it's not really
process and things,
engaging
but I think if
for
you're okay
audio
with it.
members.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And I think I just sent the link.
We're open to
Great.
presenters, but yeah, on Zoom, but we're not really. doing
Yeah. What's the?
It's hard to focus on too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had- We tried to
Come
stop
grab it
in
and we'll confirm
moving
we got it all
forward
taken
doing
care of, yeah?
Zoom presenters. but
Okay, do it.
Thank you.
we can do
Thanks, Alex.
exceptions, yes, people, so it's not too hard for us to set up. The mic's right here, so people just come up here and ask the question. So we make it work like very.
I have that same camera. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Cheap.
it works. Hello, check mic 1. Hello. Good. There. Hello. You can hear me? Yes. So for the Zoom presenter, we'll ask people to come up right in front of the mic. Present the speaker to talk because the mic's right above it.
I know, question, what is it? Yeah, this.
Yep.
What feedback are you looking for? If this goes before this, right?
No, this and then
And then, well done, what kind of feedback?
I say if they can doing the presentation, but after the presentation, before we do the Q&A, ask them, hey, what type of feedback are you looking for? So our feedback is curated towards that.
I love it.
And then after that, final question, and then we ask, what is the community can we do for you?
Okay, so it looks like this, right? Yes. This vision with instructions and how it flows. Okay, what kind of, well done, what kind of feedback are you looking for? All right, final question. And then what is a community going to do for you?
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure to time presentation.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to be hard on the 6 minutes. You can let it go longer, but then you just need to take away time during the Q&A. It's really,
When does the first, we want to wrap it up? What time do we want to wrap up this presentation?
I don't have an exact time, but usually like 25 minutes is the winner.
No, I don't know if it is or
So
not.
you want to do 60 minutes of presentation, then 15 to 20 minutes of Q&A. So when you put that together, it's around 25 minutes.
Okay, so then it would primarily be like 9:35. that we wanna wrap up.
Sure, like maybe 9:30, because then you have the 25 minutes.
Okay.
So that gives you, so really by 9:30, you want to be starting the second presentation.
Okay.
Ideally.
9:30.
I think Love My Girl is the channel.
And then I need to log into, oh wait, what is the?
1,000,001 should be.
Pepper.
And you want to log into the Zoom, which I'm sure you're going to do.
That's your presentation.
And all of a sudden,
And then, this week.
Just open up
it's like,
easy now.
you're saying. Apparently they had a linear stage that was like way off, like over here.
So the
And everything was just kind of. Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, first they put it off. In the corner, everybody. So. Oh, nice. Just use the.
And now go back to, now we're actually share screen.
Just like, for some reason, we felt really cold. It was like a ton of like teenage walking around. Yeah.
All right, Alex, you want to come up here and take a look with me, make sure we have all the things that you need? Alex. The first time I'll just say it, the second time I sing it, generally then I'm like, what's going on? So this is kind of what our presentation is. And then we'll switch to something.
Yes.
Cool.
And we turned your information on the slide, so I think that's it.
Okay, great, yeah.
Yes.
And just so basically run through it, about 6 minutes presentation and then like 15 to 20 minutes for questions and then.
Yeah, we can. Thanks, Alex. Oh, no, his name is Alex as well. Alex. I really appreciate that, though. I was like, I don't know, but I want people to ask me that.
Spoken loudly.
It would be very nice for people to just ask me that in general. Hi, I'm here. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, yes, can you? What else we got? Master delegator. Is there anything else that we need on the display, like our swag and all of that? Transition this to presentation.
46 days.
Always.
You can just have them like full screen and desktops. Then everybody just like.
Will you show me how to do that? Because I love the math handy tips, and I forget.
No worries. Well, you're already fucked. Yeah.
You're already screwed in life. In fact, this is a
Oh, really? Okay, in December. Yeah.
So yeah, just hit escape and then make it full screen. Oh, that's so great.
Okay.
Like this bar.
Oh, I moved it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was in my way down here.
okay.
I
I was very confused.
directly in the center.
You're on the same page.
Because I can't use their
That was-
computer or
that was perfect.
down here, I can't get to the thing. There's no logic. But up here, I can't get to the tabs. Yeah. So then I went to move it to the side. And for some reason, it's not doing the side. So there we, that's how we ended up there. I love it.
Okay.
Infrastructure.
So.
Thank you for my dissertation on why I did that. Okay.
I just like,
That was just so funny.
like we're definitely like too many people for like how much there is to do.
So we have.
It's like, wow.
In other words,
Yeah.
Have fun. I go do that.
Well, we were saying earlier, I like doing coffee, so I have something to do.
I'm glad I know that because I hate it.
I also hate
Yeah, just let me do it. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
happy.
I'm so relieved.
Oh, you also hate it?
Yeah, because I don't drink coffee. Generally, I'll have coffee once a month maybe, but each time I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this up, you know, we're gonna have weird coffee, because I don't know what's up, so.
Well, I will
Businesses.
take on this tribute. So,
Hi. Okay, I'm ready. Show me.
okay, so hit the green circle.
What's the green circle?
This little green
Oh,
circle.
this green circle.
Not very loud.
Okay.
So
And then I was at
US
just make that full screen.
customer, if you
So
wanted
then
to
you
work,
take 3 fingers, go like
you
this.
would have to work with every provider around the world to get your message in. So we would use our service instead, and we do all that work of working with every provider around the world. So your international.
I would make it a new.
Customers, we can get verified and get the messages sent.
Cool. So now you can drag that over.
And I can look.
So if you click and hold on like the top part, okay, right here. So like,
Yeah.
and then just drag it and hold it on the left.
Obviously.
Yeah. So then you can hit a slideshow.
Oh, yeah.
So now you go.
Oh, really? Nice. I don't know, I just thought that they thought.
Yeah. Okay.
That was like my whole day. Whole day. I feel like I would pay you to sit down and do fun stuff like that with me for an hour. Like, show me.
I'm the type of person that's like, if I see someone typing in like Google, I'm like,
Yeah, what do you do instead of typing Google? Because I just have it.
oh no.
It
is Google.
Your respect level for me just dropped like 10
I
points.
know, it was so hard.
I know. I mean, you were like, and now.
It's like God tier. Now it's just above average.
I think above average.
It's above average though.
Yeah, right, I'm okay with that. I mean, and you're like, if the average person knows, the person that cuts you off on the highway.
Right, yeah. Like
The
I'm
bar is
just
like down
average.
there.
I'm just average. You're above average. I even rank myself low. So if you rank yourself low, you always surprise yourself.
Yeah, but if you rank yourself high, then you expect great things.
Yeah.
Or you like,
Yes.
which also comes with the like, oh, crap. Okay, what are we doing? What were you gonna show me? Oh, no, Google. What do we do instead of typing Google?
Well, it is Google, so you can just type your search phrase.
Oh, yeah, oh, I do that.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what I
cool. My wife did.
And
She'll type.
she's above average.
The thing that drives me nuts is like she'll type Google. She won't even type Google.com. So like, just put the phrase there. Just put the phrase there. There's like little things that just drive me nuts. Or like, we have 1Password, like the tool. No. Once we get our free tier done, then I will.
You are?
Well, I will. Yeah.
free tier?
This new tier of our product. I'm tired of every time I give a presentation, like, oh, what makes sense? It's like, it's too expensive. Yes. So, you know, they will-
I had something for you.
I was supposed to research it many years ago.
Oh, now you have been there in a car. You can go to it. I think I might even have had to take my first history thing.
Wow.
Well, a friend of mine, got a like a 9-pack. I have grown up.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Depends, like, what else do you have in your truck? Is it like a
Oh.
person, or is it?
No, it's actually in my purse. So it's smaller than my trunk. My trunk though is my adventure ready stuff. So I've got
Oh,
bathing
nice.
suits, I've got hiking,
Nice.
I think that might actually be a product that I create, is an adventure ready,
Oh,
like,
two things, right?
because for me, like, Allie calls me tomorrow and is like, hey, I'm headed to Buena Vista for the night. You want to come up to the hot springs? I'm like, for sure I do. And, or like, hey, I'm gonna go on a hike in the Nepali Coast Trail, which is not gonna help me from right. Yeah, hey, I want to go on a muddy hike, and I'm like, I got abstracts in your car. I got a hot yoga towel, I got 2 yoga mats, I got like adventure ready trucks.
Nice.
Okay, so where did I come up on the? I really feel sad that I am like really vying for your like level.
It's ticking up.
Scale.
Yeah.
Is it
Well,
going up?
Yeah, it's going up. Well, okay, so I said a pet peeve of mine is when like in Chrome, people will type in like Google, like in the search bar,
I didn't know.
and I'm like, that is Google. Like, put in your query, or like they'll type in YouTube. Like, just go to YouTube. Put in the .com.
Oh, in the search bar.
Sorry.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian. We can't hear you.
You're on mute, Ian.
Or if you're.
Oh, he can't see.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Okay, I think you can.
In the Google.
Oh, let me.
Go to Google. And then search.
My mom still uses, yeah.
Can you hear me all right?
Can you talk again? I'm gonna work on the mic here.
Testing, check 1, 2, testing. Hi.
Go ahead again, Ian.
Test, check 1, 4, 5.
For some reason, yeah. I don't know.
Why can't I
I
hear
just find it hard. I just don't like
You know,
someone.
check. I'll talk all day if you need me to. I'm just setting up my presentation.
You're super. Yeah.
Maybe I don't need this.
Testing.
Hi. No, I didn't break anything. I mean,
Try again, Ian.
Test, check 1, 2. Test. Can you hear me?
Yes, but
Test. You need permissions to share screen too.
once it closes, then I will. We've gone to the club.
Myself, like I'm in the room alone, which I am.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Something happened.
You can hear me now?
Yep, can you hear me?
Before we can get.
Hey, cool. What's up, Nick?
Ian, we're gonna have you present in a second.
Okay.
where am I?
Perfect.
Okay. So we're gonna. Where's the camera? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you need the volume on the TVs.
Yeah, he's got this. Have you got the volume on the TVs to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
All right, party people, we're gonna get started.
Yeah. Maybe,
Consolidate humans into towards center.
yeah, or closer.
Yes, lovely people, can we all get in about the same arena?
Yeah. You guys want to come over to this side? Because we have the camera for a presenter. Okay, all right. So come on over to this side. We'll probably remember all together.
Genius. All right. He's like, and no. Okie dokie. Good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups. Thank you for being here. I'm excited that you're here. A reminder, presentations generally, we meet every Wednesday. Presentations start at 9 a.m. We have coffee on the table. Please don't drink the coffee that's in the kitchen. It doesn't belong to us. This is from Queen City Coffee. They're friends of ours. No parking in the parking lot. And here's the Wi-Fi password, or the Wi-Fi is a Wi-Fi guest. Oh, and take some swag. There's things over there. There's 1 Million cups, which is just fun to say. So take one of those. Hello, my name is Lindsay. Nice to see you. All right, so it's not a joke, but we're getting, okay, so famous founders. She made her fortune by developing and marketing cosmetics and hair care products for Black women. She's also listed as the first female self-made millionaire in America in the Guinness Book of World Records. Who is this woman? Anyone? I mean, there's a Netflix series right now. Amazing.
About her?
Say it again.
It's about her.
It's about her. Mhm. Anybody? I love you for having a guess, but no.
We have one in the chat. Oprah?
Oh, Oprah, I love that. No, actually far before Oprah's time. So great guess. Thank you. By the way, does Ian have permission to share screen now?
Yeah.
All right, my friends, it is Madam C.J. Walker. From the South even, developed an entire line of products, sold them hand to hand, and then had one of the largest manufacturing facilities in the South that she built up as a woman of color in the late 1800s. Like mind-blowing stuff, right? So check her out. She's quite the inspirational human. All right, why 1 Million Cups exists? Problem one, entrepreneurs need feedback on their startups. Problem two, entrepreneurs need a place to practice presenting. And problem three, entrepreneurs need a place to meet other entrepreneurs. Here we are, we're doing it. That's out of order? No? Okay. Problems. Oh, there's a solution. Thank you. 1 Million Cups, Wednesday weekly event at 9 a.m. here generally. Free coffee, 6-minute presentations, 15 to 20 minutes of constructive audience feedback. Presenters generally have an idea, product, or startup. Not even generally, presenters do have an idea, product, or startup. Are looking for and will receive feedback. Ideally, the idea is in its teenage stage, not too new, but not too old. Availability to still do some maneuvering and want to practice presenting in front of others. Welcome to 1 Million Cups website. Please show up there for 1 Million Cups information. Presenter info, you can apply to present, and you can follow for meeting updates, which especially comes in handy as we start to have funky weather. You can also follow us on Slack. Join the 1MC community on Slack, share events and resources. Also a good place to look if we have inclement weather. Here's a joke. It's the joke that's always on here, but this for Nick. You can listen and look at Nick's joke. I have an Irish friend with a great personality that always bounces off walls. His name is Ricochet. Nick Campion, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, great place for jokes. Great place. You can also now get on the link tree and find when you check in, you can get some free 1MC swag. A pen after 3 visits and a notebook after 5. So check in, do the thing. And then meet our team, all of our fantastic organizers. we got Philip, Kim, myself, Carter, our friend Nick over here with the fantastic jokes, Andrew up front, Alex, who doesn't have a picture right here, but I can see him right here. He exists as a human. Kai, as well as Jordan, who's on here. Meet our sponsors. Our main sponsors, the Kaufman Foundation, Enterprise, and Queen City. We also have our additional sponsors. We've got Allie from Meet there in the back. Hi, Allie. Woo! Founders booth, the Commons on Chamber. There's more information and business cards generally over there. If you have any questions about our sponsors, I think I can like reasonably answer them. Who is new to 1MC today? Anybody? Hi. Yay, hi, welcome. I dig it. Yeah. And who considers himself an entrepreneur? Oh, I have a couple of audience introductions. I personally would like to hear from some of the new people, but your choice. I'm not going to throw you in. Throw you into the ring. Anybody wish to introduce themselves today?
I guess I'm kind of old. I mean, I've been here like a year ago, but my name is Brad Kuhn. I own Finding Nectar Nursery. You guys let me present and do my pitch for Denver Startup Week here last year. And I own an educational plant nursery that teaches about the correct plants to plant in your yard for pollinator species. And then I also teach little kids about pollinators and bees. So if you have a kid, bring them around next year for a bee petting tour. So it is a real thing. And kids love it and parents love hearing about it even more.
Can I come pet bees? I would rather pet. I don't have a kid, but I will come pet bees.
We didn't do an adult. Well, we attempted an adult one, but weirdly enough, adults freak out when I take their hand and put it in front of like bees to have them climb all over.
Right.
And the first adult version of it did not do so hot. Kids are just way more apt and way more willing to try these things.
Yeah.
And it's like a great valuable age to like teach them the difference between asshole wasps and cool bees.
Well, thank you. Asshole wasps. Thanks, Brad. Who else would like to introduce themselves?
I'm Danielle. I work in financial technology, but potentially looking to make a change or start something of my own. So I'm here for some inspiration.
Anybody else? The impact that 1MC focuses on, entrepreneurs get to be open and transparent. We create friendly environments. Impact 2, entrepreneurs get feedback to improve their startups. Impact 3, entrepreneurs build meaningful connections together. Profile of the presenters, here for your feedback. Audience members, let's focus on positive feedback. We are kind, loving, gentle, gentle's not actually the word that I'm looking for, but kind and loving community. Constructive feedback, things that are actually actionable, and helpful questions for support, analysis, or growth. You dig? Okay. And now we will introduce our first entrepreneur, our first presenter, as Alex from Green Cubes. Welcome. I did.
Oh. How do I get the slides on?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This Alex?
Oh, okay.
Wait, he just taught me something magical. So I'm gonna assume that there's something.
Take me back when I did IT.
I appreciate this about you.
Don't think.
Oh, wait.
I would say.
Oh, they're different computers. I didn't realize that.
But it's on.
But it's on your computer, so you just plug that in.
Here, the deck is here. So you just stop share. Yes.
That's what it is. It's Zoom is focusing on that one window on.
So clearly I still do IT.
Here.
Thanks, Nick.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Alex. I mean, I was.
So, hey everybody, I'm Alex. I'm the COO at Green Cubes. I'm usually the person who's like chained in the basement ensuring operational success, but today I have escaped. I'm going to be talking a little bit. I'm going to just kind of rip through this presentation in about 6 minutes. There's a few parts I'm going to go a little bit off script just because there's some of the narrative that I'm kind of playing with. But the thing that I really like feedback on is the narrative, like how I'm presenting like the product, the ecosystem, the market, that sort of stuff. We've had some, we're very intense like engineer and product people. How we're shaping the narrative has been kind of something that we're kind of working on. So Green Cubes, fresh produce going everywhere. Our mission is really simple: make it easy to grow fresh food anywhere. And by fresh, I mean like harvested it, eat it fresh, not it's in the supermarket and it's a week old fresh. And with millions of people a year on access to opportunity with intelligent, transportable, and scalable infrastructure. And the idea is you can grow on a small scale, you can grow on a large scale, and you can grow a wide variety of things, not just leafy green, which is generally the case with a lot of like what's sold with hydroponics and things like that. The problem, I don't think this is necessarily news to anybody, but the industrial farming has a lot of issues. It takes a ton of water. We're having major issues with soil. And to grow your own food, it takes a lot of time and energy and risk of failure. Like it's quite a thing. And if you go all the way to the other side with like vertical farming and hydroponics, it's great in a lot of ways. It tends to be very energy inefficient because there's a lot of LEDs, a lot of climate control, like that stuff takes a lot of energy. And in general, people point it like just at like leafy greens and microgreens, and largely because those are the most economic things to grow if you're trying to grow at volume, but that is also kind of a limitation. Our solution, ecosystem of customizable hydroponic modules and greenhouses that are turnkey, efficient, beautiful, and simple to operate. So the idea here is that we're taking hydroponics, and like hydroponics just uses like somewhere from 90 to 95% less water than conventional agriculture. And the reason for that is really simple. You have plants and you have recirculating water in a nutrient solution that you occasionally flush out and refill, rather than pour water into the ground and then it's gone. And greenhouses, because one of the major things with hydroponic farming and vertical farming is that because you're spending a ton of energy on running LEDs and climate control, there's actually a lot you can do with greenhouses to make that more efficient. And you can use sunlight instead of LEDs, or primarily sunlight and then LEDs if you want to like extend the grow time. So the product, modular hydroponic greenhouse ecosystem, maximize yield, variety, enjoyment, minimize labor, energy, water, grow anywhere year round, and scale to the customer. And one of the things that I kind of want to point at here is like we have this is a 16x8 greenhouse that fits in a parking spot. We actually have one of these in our warehouse right now. It's growing more food than we actually know what to do with. Most of it's going to Denver Food Rescue, I believe. But also this is separated out into 4-foot sections. And the idea here is that like most of these kinds of ecosystems they're kind of like one system, and it's like, okay, try to grow as much as you can in this. With this, we're actually saying, okay, this 4-foot section, we're going to optimize it for growing all your lettuces, your herbs, your leafy greens. This one is for like fruiting crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, things like that. This one is for potatoes, for like more like sustenance crops, fruits, tubers, etc. Nobody else is really doing that. And like we kind of see this gap in the market where there's like really big shipping container farms, which was actually where we started. And then we realized shipping containers are not the way to go for a lot of reasons that I can get into later. But what we really want to do is enable people to grow a variety of food and and be able to kind of like either go something like this, which is like bigger in a backyard, etc. Or get like a 4-foot module and have like kind of a smaller greenhouse shell around that. So like, let's say you live in a city and you have a balcony or an indoor space and that's what you've got. That's kind of where that's kind of what you'd be using. How it works, set up seed plug subscriptions. Basically just, they come in little plugs that already have a seed in them. You put them in a nursery, takes about a week, and then you plant them in whatever module is set up for that type of plant. Live your life, harvest and enjoy. And then just cleaning, etc., which we're trying to make as easy as possible and as automated as possible. This is a prototype that we have. I took that picture literally yesterday. Automated grow and monitoring, multiple plant types in one system. Like I said, we're like donating a lot of the food that we're growing because we actually can't eat it all. And it's a fraction of the build cost of a shipping container farm, which is our closest competition. There's a company called Freight Farms. They're basically on back order selling shipping container farms, partially from demand and partially because shipping containers are atrocious to actually modify and work with. Technology, I'm just going to be rip through this really quick. Hydroponics, I already talked about. One of the major things and the reason for using a greenhouse is because the lighting is a huge energy cost and thermal management and HVAC is a huge energy cost. There's a way, if you guys know of, there's a thing you can do called passive house with residential buildings. And it's basically using the construction of the house, how it's oriented, and just where light comes in and how you store thermal energy. You can actually have it be much more thermally efficient than just like a straight up regular building where you just kind of set it up. There's a company in Boulder called Series that's pioneered a lot of this, and we're kind of like building on a lot of what they've done. And I'm gonna mostly just skip past this, but it's a lot of tech, makes things easier, makes things faster, makes things reliable and automated. This is some of our competitors. High yield, high variety, low labor, energy efficient, transportable. One of the things with these is because we started with shipping containers, we actually want the value of like say a greenhouse. If you just build one in your backyard and then you move, and the next person who moves there doesn't want a greenhouse, the value of that is effectively zero, or it's kind of a liability to them. If you can just pick it up and put it on like forklifts that are winch it onto a truck and point A to point B, it actually retains its value. And the idea is that you can grow anywhere in the world and deliver it there easily. Yeah.
Maybe be willing to wrap it up.
Okay, cool. Markets are a thing. Unit economics also are a thing. This is a lot cheaper to build. Why now? I feel like I've kind of talked that already. Go to market strategy. We have a team, they're great. And yeah.
What kind of feedback, like what's the frame, Ian was clapping too. Thanks, Ian. What kind of feedback would you like from us today? I know you mentioned it a little bit, but as a reframe.
Yeah, like the product market fit, that kind of thing. Also, just like if you are an investor kind of looking to invest because we're seeking another round of investment right now. Just like questions, thoughts, concerns, etc.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Alex.
So great presentation.
Thank you.
If you're looking for feedback on like product market side of things, I didn't know like what your price point was or who you were selling to until you got to your competitor slide, and it was like 75K. It was like bottom right corner.
Yeah.
And then at one of the last slides, you had like healthy, wealthy individuals. I maybe would have brought that up a little bit.
Okay.
Just because I wasn't sure until like the absolute very end.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting, like the point you were talking about, just the variety you can achieve like with hydroponics. So you don't have like a slide that was specific to that, but I think since that's like a really important thing that differentiates you from other systems, like it might be worthwhile to like talk about just like the range that you're getting at with like the 4-foot sections, because I thought that was a really interesting point and you talked through that, but I didn't really see a lot of language around it. So I think it adds just like something that really sets your product apart from the competition. It might be worthwhile to have like a slide speaking to that point.
Okay.
Hey, Alex, awesome presentation. Just one thing I noticed that I did notice, to his point on the slide, you had like the lowest price. But the other thing I wondered to myself is what else are you guys doing other than price? Because eventually everybody will just catch up.
Mhm.
So like maybe it's called an activity system. So show all your strengths
Yeah.
against your competitors. Otherwise, people might think, well, okay. And then also, what are people willing to pay for that versus your cost?
Mhm.
You know, the price.
Yeah, yeah, we have, just from looking at what our competitors are doing and like the stuff that they're working on that they haven't launched yet. We have like a lot of like good market signals that people are willing to pay for like something comparable, like yield, size, etc. But that's, yeah, I could have definitely highlighted that more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't, so just two observations. One is it seems to me that it's a nice presentation. But it seems it's to me a little too technocentric.
Mhm.
I really don't care about the features. I want to know about the benefits.
Yeah.
So I would need more benefits rather than all this stuff about what it does and how it works and who else listens.
Mhm.
And the second is, it wasn't clear to me, and maybe this was mentioned before, about who is the customer and what's the persona? Because it seems to me that the people that need healthy food the most are the people who can afford it the least.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, we're kind of, as far as that goes, like that's something that like we very much agree with. And we're basically aiming like first off, just wealthier people because they can afford to do something like this. And then as we do that, we basically like put that the money into R&D and figuring out like how to make like smaller, more accessible things, and also like working with governments, nonprofits, things like that, just to get these things kind of to places where they're a lot more needed. Yeah.
If you focus a little bit more on social equity,
Mm.
you may be able to tap into more money.
Okay.
Yeah. Childhood diabetics and food deserts.
Yeah.
It's a big deal now. So
Yeah.
you could get a lot of money, forget the investors. They're just going to invest in people like me that this is a nice thing to have.
Mm.
But I would rather you pivot a little bit to service the people who can afford it the least.
Mm.
I mean, got a couple I'll ask questions there, but one thing I kind of saw, and you kind of like brushed over it. I know you're kind of rushed in your presentation in there, but like kind of being in the industry, one of the big points that would drive home if you're presenting not to investors is to like people,
Mm.
and like you want the word to get out is that like you have a subscription base to get seedlings. Like 2 customers, that's huge. Because most customers have no idea how to start successful seeds and not get like fungus and rot and other things like that. So the fact that you're delivering that like, you know, just in time for like a succession to go on is a huge USP, because not many other people in the industry are doing that. So I'd make sure you kind of highlight that outside of the tech stuff, you know, kind of drive home what you say there, because that's important. And then, are you selling the greenhouse with the aquapump? That was one thing I just wasn't clear on, because you talk about having this in apartments and on balconies and things like that.
So we're selling kind of an ecosystem. Like the greenhouse is kind of like the largest, most kind of complete form of that. But the idea is that the whole setup is modular. So like you can approach it like, and this is where the slides are a little bit out of date. Like you can approach it from like the whole greenhouse, set it up, like then you're kind of running like that. Or you can approach it like from like this module or that module. It's like, okay, I want to just easily grow like a bunch of lettuce, easily grow a bunch of potatoes, like things like that. Like the idea is to make it like modular, accessible at a smaller price point, and then kind of be able to but like for balconies specifically, it would be like the module and then like a greenhouse shell that would go around it, like a kind of a thermal shell that would go around it. Or if you run it inside, you don't need the shell.
What's the price point of that?
That would be probably between 3 to 5K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll highlight that a little bit.
Yeah, and we're also thinking about making like a much more like smaller, accessible, like just total newbie version. But like that's way too many products to try to concentrate on at once. So like, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, hi,
Hi.
my name's Donnie. I work for agriculture. I do agriculture research for Washington State University.
Oh, cool.
Fundraising, so I spend a lot of time in this space.
Yeah.
And something, as far as your markets go, I would look at what maybe nonprofit organizations exist throughout the country that pass money through the USDA and Department of Commerce for redeveloping and adding like food to food deserts. Because while you're not a nonprofit, so you can ask for that kind of money, you can get it on the back end. So cities, colleges, and I'm thinking like, I live by Colfax Ave. Oh my gosh, this would really turn around that area if we could just put plants in the area. So any sort of economic development would be great, kind of piggyback off of the social activity.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
Cool. Thank you.
My name is Lindsay. I actually work with an organization that does a lot of work that's similar. And I have some context that I think might be really informative in this particular context. As far as feedback comes, the first thing that I thought is consolidation of information, right? Somebody mentioned there's a lot of tech, there's a lot of things. For me, it feels like there's a golden through line here. And there's a lot of opportunity to kind of to speak to the people that you're interested in speaking to. So to me, it felt like the content versus what you're interested, the people that you're interested in speaking to was off balance. So my suggestion would be to narrow it down, bring it down to a handful of pinpoints, and then build out as you have additional time, or what that looks like. Because I think with this, you're going to find a great payoff when you get down even like 1 to 2 out breaths of like what it is, why you're doing it, why it feels important. Because this is something that innately is going to be close to people's hearts if they're your people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. That's
Cool.
fine. Anybody else? We've got one last one.
Yeah, I would say just from like a investor pitch sort of standpoint, because you're raising money right now.
That's it.
You're raising money?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say like kind of what everybody's saying, right? Everybody understands the problem that we're solving, like focus on the differentiators that you guys have right away, like the modularness, the subscription, and all of that. And to do that, maybe like jumping into the person's shoes who is going to be experiencing it and explaining it like you did to us just now. Like, okay, so if you're a person who lives in a high rise on a balcony, this is what it would be like for you. And then we can really picture it in our heads pretty easy. And then I would say like totally make sure you get to that go to market slide as soon as you can, so that because there's a lot of options out there for these things, and lots of people are trying to address this problem. And so it's like from an investor standpoint, like why are you guys ones to actually be able to implement this and be successful with all these other competitors out there? And then I would also include probably an ask slide with how much you're raising. And just because like I did a pitch at 1 Million Cups in San Diego a couple years ago, and there was an investor in the audience, and he came up afterwards and invested in my company. So I would really make sure you're if you don't ask, the answer is always no, right? So saying here's what's on the table, here's what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Alex, great job. Thank you so much. How am I gonna do this now? Okay, stop sharing and start sharing. I'll just start sharing. Actually, I think Ian is gonna start sharing regardless. Ian, if you wanna go ahead and share, welcome Ian from One Book. Yeah. Ian, you're still on mute, and that might be by design.
Can you guys hear me now? All right. I'm excited to pitch with you guys. It's been a while since I've been in Denver. I'm actually in St. Petersburg today. So you guys ready for me?
Yeah.
You ready for us?
Yeah, I think so. All right. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Ian Imamura. I am the founder of OneBook. And today I'm going to be talking about an app that we're releasing in the next month. We are going to be starting in St. Petersburg and my hometown of Denver. So really excited to present this to you guys today. And I want to start out with a question. And how many of you have ever had to hire a service professional? And maybe by service professional, let me clarify. Maybe your sink or toilet was clogged and you needed a plumber. Maybe your refrigerator broke down and you needed an appliance repairman to come out to your home to fix it before your food spoils. Or how about if your heater goes out in the middle of winter and you need an HVAC tech to come and fix it? Anybody had those problems before? Raise your hands. So the problem with hiring these service professionals, guaranteed everyone in this room has had to take a lot of time and stress trying to connect and find a service pro to come to their home. And when it comes to the current service pro tools that we have today, connecting these two parties, consumers with service professionals, is very complicated. You have to make calls, you have to see who's going to come out on the right time and pick the exact person that's going to come into your home to provide a reliable service. But the problem lies in our tools today. See, our technology has solved a lot of issues, but when it comes to connecting with these pros, we've missed the boat. We really haven't made it easy on ourselves. And so the current competition, of course, we have the phone book, right? You look up a number and start dialing. Or we've got word of mouth. Maybe you have a friend that mentioned a service pro that can help you out in any given circumstance. And then you also have Google, which Google is everything under the sun. You'll type in plumber, HVAC tech, whatever it is, and you'll have to, again, go through and start dialing and see who's coming out. But the main competitors today are lead generation tools and gig economy applications. And so let me start with lead generation tools. Our lead generation tools are where business professionals buy leads and contact and try to outbid the competitors in their market. First off, you're going to be calling businesses. You're not going to be actually seeing the actual individual coming to your home. And once you put in your information as a customer, you're then going to be contacted nonstop until you get a job. Even past that, you're still going to be getting calls, emails, and so on, because these business pros are trying to win your job. So let's move on to the gig economy apps. Our gig economy apps are actual individuals that you can hire to come into your home. But when it comes to the services they provide, they're more simple tasks. They're hanging up a picture on your wall. They're waiting in line to get groceries for you. Some stuff that we're just simply too lazy to do, and we're going to pay someone else to perform that service for us. So that's where OneBook comes in. And OneBook is a pro booking marketplace app where you can see a list of service professionals and pick the exact person that you want to come home based on your preferences. Again, our solution is to connect those homeowners directly with the independent service professionals so you can choose the exact person coming to your home. Each service pro sets their booking fee and then pays that to get access to immediate scheduling to each pro. Now, let me go into the product a little bit. So the consumer product is going to be exactly that, a marketplace where you can see a list of the service professionals in your area. From there, you can compare with transparency based on their ratings and reviews, their prices, but most importantly, their availability. If you need someone now, you need to find someone who's ready to work right now. And so once you see this, you can book directly into their available schedule. Our pro product is going to allow our service professionals to set their calendar and show their availability to their customers, to their local customers. They're going to be able to set their booking fee. If they want to get more bookings, they can set it at a lower fee. If they want to set it higher and be more valued of their time, then they can also do that. And they'll also have the ability to accept and decline jobs based on if it's not the right job, if it's not the right time for them, whatever the case may be. So our business model is that we're going to take 20% from each booking fee. We want to allow as many transactions to happen, get these services done, and most importantly, allow the service professional to do the job and take the money for the work that they do. The market is basically every household in the world. Everybody needs a service. And so that's what OneBook is trying to explain in this market right here is there's over 1 million here in Tampa Bay, over 1 million households in Denver as well. But globally, there's over 2 billion households. At least everyone needs a service once a month based on household services, but there's much more opportunity for services as we scale as a marketplace. So the benefits for service pros and consumers are many, right? We've got service consumers who can strengthen those relationships with pros. If they already have a professional that they use, they can then go and see in OneBook when they're available next so that they can schedule directly with them. Excuse me. There's also the safety of knowing who, right? Once you book with someone from OneBook, you know exactly who's coming to your front door and who's coming to your home to provide that service. We have the power of choice to pick exactly who we want, when they're available, and pay the amount that we see fit. And then we'll have more control of our time. We'll be able to do more services and have an easier way to get those services booked so that we can focus on our work, our life, and our everyday. For professionals, we'll be able to travel less, do more jobs, and make more money. By making it a more localized approach, we can go and travel a less distance so that we can do more jobs within a day. Also, the opportunity for repeat customers. Like I mentioned, once you have a relationship with a provider, you can book directly with that provider through OneBook. This also provides the, oh, excuse me.
We're at about 7 minutes. If you could wrap it up.
Yep, sure. All right. We got the ability to scale more opportunities for work, apparently, for these pros. My ask of y'all today is to share your local service pros. If you've used someone that you've enjoyed, had a great relationship with, provided a reliable, reasonably priced, and quality job, send them my way. I'm also looking for team members or partners with marketplace experience as we grow and launch in the next month or so. I hope everybody has a great day, and let's make it better with OneBook. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I think your ask is pretty clear. Is there any specific feedback that you'd like from us?
Any and all, really. I can use as much help as I can get.
Great. Yeah, we'll get started. Yeah, Alex.
Can you, I need to go up to the speaker. Yeah. Okay, I just want everybody to know.
Oh, yeah.
Go up and give feedback. Go up to where the speaker is. The camera is where the mic is.
This is like super awkward. Hi. Of course it has to be awkward. Hi, I'm Alex. Thanks for presenting here. I'm one of the organizers. So one piece of feedback, I'm struggling a bit to really understand the core difference between your platform and something like Angie's List. For some perspective, I need to install a 220 outlet in my garage, and I went on Angie's List. I saw a bunch of people. They're pretty transparent with the pricing. I got somebody to come out, and they gave me a quote, and we were able to get it done. What I think might be helpful, I'm a visual learner, so it would have been helpful if you could say an experience and here's how the experience happens on this particular platform, and here's how we make that better. That might help me better understand the differentiators and the real value that you're providing. But that was really the only bit. So that might be helpful instead of showing a grid right away if somebody's only used one or two of those. But thanks.
Yeah, awesome, Alex. Thank you. And yeah, as far as that experience, right? When we go to one of these lead platforms, we start out by filling a form. So we have to answer 10 to 12 questions on our specific job, and that gets shot out to service professionals. So for that one form that we're filling out as customers, these platforms are making money for every person that wants to contact that customer. So it's not that, it's the hard part for us as consumers is that we're going to be getting calls and emails and people trying to reach out to us. And then for the service pros, they have to compete with everybody. You know, they have to contact that person as soon as possible. They have to give them a lower bid. So I guess it does outweigh on the service pros, their ability to reach with us as customers. But that's a great point. I'll definitely try to work on that on my next pitch as far as explaining that experience on both sides.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Dan. Next. Thanks.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Nick.
My feedback, I really liked how you started off the presentation by engaging the audience, asking them a question, see if it's relatable to them. I would have liked you to start off with a story about the different use cases. So you had your competitor slide talking about Home Advisor and then TaxRabbit. I would have start off with a story of like, hey, there's Steve. He has an issue with his house. He used Home Advisor, and these are like the pains with it. And then there's Sally, who uses TaxRabbit, and these are the issues she has with this, and highlighting it, these pains, these issues with these current products, and then going into your solution. And then after the solution, you can go back to that competitor slide and showing like, one, look, we do all these things, and our competitors can't. So that's my feedback. And for that competitor slide, I would put you all the way on the left, showing we are doing all these things. You know, these are the benefits of us, and we check the box for all of them. So it's easy connection versus being on that right side of that chart.
Cool. Well, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Had a great presentation. On that slide where you said your price on there, I had no comparison of like what other people charge for services like that. So it was a little confusing or like kind of jarring to be like, oh, they're taking 20%. Is that like industry average? Is that low? Is that like, I didn't quite know. So maybe on that slide, add a little something extra to show where that is, especially if you're going after investors and wanting other partners on there. So I just didn't know where that kind of lands at that point in there.
Yeah, thank you. And just to touch on that a little bit, like I said, these pros are paying lead fees, and it's hard to understand what you're paying until it's taken out of your bank account as a professional. So it is free for the customer, which is convenient, right? We don't have to pay that initial fee. But for the pro, they could be paying for a lead that's not even going to turn into a job. And it depends on the industry type, the job type, and they have this really complicated way of explaining why they're charging you this much for a lead fee. For our costs, the service pro gets to set their booking fee. So that's where the marketplace, the benefit of using a marketplace is they get to set it based on if they want more business, if they want to value their more time and have less people schedule into their calendar. And the consumer has the choice of choosing if they want to pay a lower fee for, you know, someone that can come out quicker, or pay a higher fee for someone that may have a higher rating or more experience or whatever it is. So so they have that ability to choose what they're being charged on our platform. On the other platforms, they really don't. Thank you for the question and feedback.
Yeah, Alex. Oh, Alex,
Okay. Great presentation. The one piece of feedback I had was when I saw the market slide, it was kind of like the list of like number of households globally, US, etc. That felt like very broad and like it's like kind of like more general than it gives me any particularly useful information. Like what I would be curious to see is like maybe like go back and like see if you can hunt down like Angie's list, like their pitch deck, and see how they frame their market, and like maybe even say like, okay, this is like these professions like plumbers, electricians, and so on are like who we're going to focus on first, because like from that slide I kind of want to see it. Okay, this is what we're going to nail, and this is how we're going to expand, and this is how we're going to kind of like become the main thing. But when it's just like, okay, this is kind of the number of households, like that feels like more general, like it feels more general than is necessarily useful. Like,
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. And yeah, I've been working on that slide. It's you know, the services that we're going for, we're definitely working with a lot of home services, but it is more general. Trying to come up with something that can capture that has been difficult for me, but I appreciate it. I'll definitely look into some of the competitors and see what they may have. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'll work on that one for sure.
And I also empathize with that struggle.
Hey.
Hey.
So along with that, I would say, you know, in addition to looking at competitors, right? Look at who you want to serve with this and maybe start with your why for it. Like you didn't really include your story and why you guys are the best ones to do this, right? So that would be a great addition, I think, to the presentation too, but then kind of do that work, like thinking work around like, okay, if we, you know, there's 1 million households, how can we narrow that down to at least like a third or smaller of that, right? And who would that be? Who would we exclude from that and who would we want to serve with this? So that kind of goes into making that persona and really, and you can always expand later to include all 1 million households, but for now, it makes it way more easy to start, just get started, right? Because you have a direct, like maybe it's families, there, that narrows it down already, you know, and then your marketing is way more like fine-tuned and, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I would give you.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah, thank you very much. I usually start with that, with the 6 minutes. I've kind of taken it out, which I was really contemplating this morning if I was going to put it in, but yeah, that basically it was my cousin, the plumber, who inspired me to start this, and I just saw all the inefficiencies he had with connecting with his customers, with me when I needed a job. It was hard enough to hire him directly, and then yeah, I think just based on those two pieces of feedback, my target market is really the service pro, right? The independent contractors, the small businesses that have a hard time competing in the market with these bigger companies. So I'm definitely going to work on that one. So thank you for that feedback as well.
Lean into that.
Thanks, Ian. I can't remember your name.
Oh, Shane.
Remy. Shane, come on up.
Hey, and thanks. Just a quick question.
We can see it too.
Yeah. So I use TaskRabbit a lot, and I was also struggling with how in the world this is different. But when you just said focus on because I think TaskRabbit was like people that just, you know, they're just gig workers. So if you did focus really heavily on helping the small businesses and them being pros, that would really, you know, help me connect. But also, I think one of the reasons for all the forms being filled out is because everybody's trying to be so broad. So if you did niche down and take advantage of maybe the trend of, you know, people working at home, they don't have time to deal with all this stuff, but try to find a narrower way, it reduces that amount of stuff you have to fill out and then can connect more quick, you know. That's just mine.
Yeah, thank you for that. Those are definitely two great points. And yeah, our goal is to make it, you know, for you to be able to find the exact pro in your local area to book within, you know, 4 or 5 clicks. So I'll definitely lean into that as well.
Got time for one more? Yeah, okay.
Hello, I have a really nitpicky detail on this slide that you have like a mock-up, you have a 3.5 star rating for who you're showing on your app. And I wish you got that higher because I just think it's like a weird trust thing. And like, that's my fear when I'm booking someone personally, that they're just gonna do a horrible job and I'm gonna pay a fee and not get that back. So just that little detail, I would switch and bump that up to at least 4 or 4.5. I think you're wanting to show that you have like industry professionals. So showing like a good rating on that mock-up, I think just ties better into your presentation.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that. I'll definitely add that as soon as possible. I think the one that I had was, I don't know if let me see. Thought I had like, oh yeah, I do have 3.5 on John. So don't go and hire John when he's up there. He's a great guy. I'm just kidding. I don't know who he is. Thank you so much for that.
And I think the cancel too scared me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say on that, when, go back to your slides on, it says cancel. My thought there was, oh shit, why'd they cancel? But I thought this was gonna be easy, you know, why they, like, was it me canceling or was it them canceling? And so maybe I would only put like good things, like requested, completed here. Because that made me think, and you don't want me to think, you want me to follow you. And I
Gotcha.
rabbit hole with that.
Yeah, another great point. I like that. That's an amazing point as far as this, you know, the psychosis of it actually going to be able to work for you, right? So, great points, guys.
And thank you so much. Let's give you a round of applause.
Yeah.
Five-star feedback.
5-star feedback.
But it wasn't 3.5.
Mine is better.
There we go. And what as a community can we do for you, Ian? Sorry, Alex, I'll for you later too.
Yeah, again, just if you got, we are starting, you know, in St. Petersburg and Denver. So if you have that favorite pro, if you know somebody that's in the industry of providing a professional service, definitely send them my way so we can get them signed up. You know, we're doing our beta testing and want to make sure it works for those different industries. And yeah, if you know anybody with marketplace experience as far as scaling and launching and building a successful application, you know, I'm again, I need all the help I can get as far as setting this thing up and hopefully helping our community connect with our service pros. So yeah.
Thanks so much, Ian. Alex, what as a community can we do for you?
So the feedback is super helpful. Just if you know investors, also if you know engineers, technical people, particularly like very multidisciplinary folks, I'd love to talk to them. I love connecting with this website to folks in general. Right now, I just happen to be able to connect them.
Can we ask one question or afterwards?
Let's do afterwards. Yeah, thank you. Let's give our presenters another round of applause. Yeah, community announcements, events, asks, anything that we can do for you, anything that pops up in your head.
Ian, I'm more than happy to join. I know there's cases, but I'm in the corner. My name is Miss Handy, and I am more than happy to learn about your business, even though I came late.
You're doing great. Here for it.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. But Ian, my name is Camille. I'm a handy person or a handy woman here in Denver, and so I'm trying to make my mark. And I definitely feel the TaskRabbit, the Thumbtack, all the service platform, the amount of stuff that I have to go through for marketing. I would just like one simple path to make this seamless, because the amount of communication that I have to take and do is enormous for one person, plus the work. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for your feedback. I'd love to connect. And if you could, Nick, could you give her my information by chance? And I'd love to connect with you.
thank you.
The Slack channel is a great place to do that. I'll also
Okay.
I'll share this.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Any community asks or announcements, events that are happening in the startup community, entrepreneurship community?
I'm sorry, one last thing. I am working with the Habitat of Humanity, and I am looking for donations. I have a set donation for $200 that I'm matching, so it's a total of $400. If I get a community donation of $200 towards the build, I go out on Friday to help with building the house, and yeah, I just need help.
Anybody else? Nick?
Yeah, there's like these type of events, pitch nights, they're on a meetup, but also on our Slack channel. They're having an event November 10th. So that's this
Okay, tomorrow, thank you. It doesn't say Thursday, just as number 10, 6 to 8 at X Denver. It's in our Slack channel, so the QR codes are on the table. If you go to that QR code, it's our link tree, it says Colorado Workspace, or Colorado Startup Slack Workspace, join that, and all this information's there. And Denver Founders is another group I have organized. We have our Christmas party December 1st, and we come to Tampa, and tell them to meet up as well. But it's a great other event to meet other founders, people in startup space, just to bring the holiday spirit together. So it's going to be on, I think the first Thursday, which I think is December 1st, from 6 to 8, the Commons.
Cool. Thanks, Ben. Anybody else? How we grow, how 1MC has people provide such fantastic feedback, word of mouth. Invite your friends, invite your coworkers to attend and present, come hang out with us. We're still looking for presenters. We've got some space in the next little while, which we love your support in filling those holes and bringing other people to our community. Yeah. Our website website 1millioncups.com/Denver. You can apply to present and get info on today's presenters. That's what you get. Social media, you can follow us at 1MillionCups Denver, and yeah, share our posts. Today, I'm awesome. You're awesome. Let's all be awesome together. All right, see you in our next meeting, November 16th. Thank you all for watching. Thanks, Ann.
Yeah, thank you all. That was awesome.
Yes. So like check our link tree and any of our links on there.
I was like, I was in the context with a slide.
It's really cool because I feel so good about my regular laptop.
Before they went clean.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah. Spotify.
Put it on like this page.
But this is already, yeah, that's what we had on.
Oh, we did good. I thought you had it on TV.
I don't know how to use this.
Do alt tab.
Alt tab?
Yeah.